Okay, so this is week 3 of building Scampvilla Station and track, what I call Scampvilla Rails. So to bring you up to date, you can see I've added houses. I've added dirt to level things off and get things where I want them to be. The dirt is not dried yet, it's still wet, so it looks on and off. The big spots that you see that looks like rocks, they're actually clay. Those are actually clay. So when I dig my pond, I'm getting into a clay patch. So when I have the clay here, it actually is going to harden up just like a rock, but I can form it and make it look like what I want to. But today we're going to start differently. Here's the track the way it is now. Today's deal that we're going to be doing is we are going to be adding a piece right here, because this is going to be my sawmill area. I need a place for the train to back up, mainly my Sumter, with all the cars to back up and drop cars and continue on its way. Wait a minute, before we start building more stuff, I want to go through the things that I've done wrong, that I've had to repair. Usually these repairs are done at night, it's cool out, and I don't have my camera. So let's go through what was wrong and what I did to fix it. First thing, when you set up your track like this, it looks like it's set up. You have to run trains on it. Not big trains, simple trains, a couple cars over and over, and just run them in circles in all directions and all sizes and all speeds, wherever you're going to be going with speed, because sooner or later there might be an issue and you catch where it is and you know you have a problem, so you can fix it before you finish your build and now everything is buried and you have to dig things up. So let's go with the problem that's right here. If you're going left to right across the track, you're great. If you're going up the track, you had a problem. If you're going down the track, you didn't see the problem, which is the normal way of passage, because it would disconnect the car, but then because of the downhill that was there, it would reconnect the car and run on. These are LGB couplings that do that. Just to make that straight. So I had to dig up the track from here, all the way around the corner, all the way to there, dig up everything, get all the dirt away, get the bricks set, and level everything off so it was a gradual incline instead of being a sharp curve, which it was. Didn't realize it was, but it was. So that got fixed. So now that problem is fixed. Second problem. Sometimes you might have tracks that look like there's enough space. But when certain cars or certain trains get next to each other, they actually will go off a little bit and they might actually hit. Right there used to be one of those spots. It looks like it's close now. It was about 1/4 of an inch closer. Every time 2 trains passed that were larger size, it would hit. Had to move those over. Second problem I had, same issue. Over here, these 2 tracks, which look like they're nice and straight now, if you look at the original build, you'll find out they were much closer together. So I ended up adding a piece right there. You can see the piece with the 2 connectors on it. That's all I needed to add, and it spread out all these tracks across the board. That's the third line, which would be line C, is now spread out where I don't hit anything. And I'm close enough to the rock that I also don't hit the rock. It looks kind of cool because it does come close. So that's the start and the fixes we had to do to make sure the track ran. And the only way I found those is by putting trains on here and running them for a whole day. I would change out the engines, put different engines, run different directions, and keep running and running different cars. And occasionally I would have a problem, stop it, reverse everything, see what the problem was, and then continue on, fix that specific problem. So now, right now, we're air-free. And of course, since we're air-free, I found out I need to add another piece that is in my original blueprint drawing, but I did not do it when I built it. So let's put that piece in. Okay, so the first thing we got to do is you got to put bricks underneath where the track is I have no more half bricks yet. Last time I cut bricks, I used a wet saw. So you saw what would happen if you owned a wet saw. Today, we're just going to use a little simple cut saw. You can get one of these at Harbor Freight for about, I think it's like 25 to 30 bucks. You put a blade on it that's designed to cut concrete. It will work just as good as the one you're about to see. This, of course, is a Milwaukee, but those work just the same. First thing you want to do is you want to cut a groove right across the middle of your brick. I'm going to cut both these grooves real quick. Hold it. There's a blade guide on it. Make sure the guide faces you at all times. That way anything that's going to fly is not going to fly at you. Yes, you should be wearing safety goggles with this. That's where I'm going to stop. When you lay these down, make sure you lay them down where the blade is facing up in case it's turning. Now, I did not go all the way through. That saw will not go all the way through. So now what you do is you turn the bricks over on a soft surface. You take a 2-pound hammer, whatever it might be, and you hit it right where the crack is. Just once. I just let the hammer fall. Now I got my 4 bricks. Okay, so we're going to start cutting our track where we need to cut it. I'm going to be using my track cutting blade. This is the concrete blade on the concrete saw. You can use this blade, this device to cut track. But notice how it has big spaces in it? You do not ever want to use this blade to cut any track because it will catch, fly, and make a mess. This blade has no spaces in it. You can buy this size blade or this blade in this size like this and use this to cut your track. You don't have to have a device like I'm using. So I'm going to take my piece of track I'm putting in place of that, separate it out, put my track right where it's going to be, line it up on both sides. I'm going to take my blade, put right next to the new track, and then push down. And I'm marking a spot. Now I know my spot is going to be right in the middle of this tie, or a little bit to the side of it, but right in the middle. So now I put my blade in spot A, and I go to spot B, because I can look and verify that my space on here and here are both good, that I'm cutting it straight across. So now I hold the track, no, it's not supposed to act like this. It's supposed to cut straight through. It is not a battery. My battery is fully charged. My issue is this blade, this saw. If you look at it, you can see where it clicks. It's not supposed to be clicking. The saw has a problem. I need to get another one. Too many things to do, too little time. So my track is now cut. So let me remove my inner piece from this track. just removing the side that I'm removing track of. This should cut the plastic. Good. And I can take out my piece of track. I didn't move this at all. This is still right where it was. Now I'm going to take my new piece of track and put in. This is a manual. I do order the electrical ones to come in, so it will be electric coming up. So I lay this track down. It should fit right in the grooves that I just made, and it does. So now I have to put the track under this side, tighten it in place, get 2 more connectors and put under the other side. Set them all the way in. Lift up the track, slide it all the way in, and I can slide it back. Remember, when using these connectors, you tighten one side almost, go to the other side, tighten it full blast, then come back and tighten the first side. Otherwise, your track is not going to be in the groove. It's going to pop out. And remember, I'm not trying to re-level the track. It's proven it works. All I'm trying to do is match the new to the old. That's why I haven't changed any bricks. I haven't added any bricks, which yes, I'm going to be adding a brick. This is the big track on the outside, so I definitely do not want any connections like this. Since I'm going to be having heavy trains on this, I do not want what I was saying is I do not want any connections, anything to happen. I just saw that there is another ground bee nest right there. And another root right there. So I will be using a small brick there. As you already know, I collect bees if you've been watching. I've already saved one nest that I destroyed. Looked down and saw this nest. Don't want to destroy it. This might even be the new nest after I hurt the other one. They said, oh, I'm going to move next door. Whatever it might be. They built a nest right next to my little brick. Okay. So pushing down, that brick's actually level. That's level, so that brick works. So I can go with a small brick right there. Now, how am I going to test to verify there's no problems? There's only one way. I got to get a train running here. Let's go pick one out of the new batch. Well, it seems like I can continue on now. My track seems to be fine. I'm testing, however, with my new PB1, which is a very large locomotive. It seems to work. I mean, PA1. My PB1 seems to have a problem I don't know what it is. Just got these, haven't oiled them. It could be, for all I know, the wheels need to be oiled. This one actually sounds a little bit weak. I'm going to let it run probably like 10 times, and then I'm going to be taking that off. But we can continue on with this because it's proven. There's no issues with the track. There's no bumps. There's no anything. That engine's never going to go around this curve. It's not designed for that. So we're good with that. So now we start. I'm holding this down to where the level would be, just in case. No problems. Did make a squeal right there, didn't particularly like, but it wasn't because of my dirt or anything. Now this track over here is mostly up on the ground. Most of this ground has already had dirt on it, and the grass grew on top of my dirt. So it's not like grass is having a major problem. Actually, the grass is a little bit low. Well, that's why we have our tools. So this is kind of fun. I'm testing another set of trains. There's A. Here comes B. And here is C. I think the wheels on these things need to be cleaned. They're jumping all to hell. I know it's not the track. Now they're pushing on each other. These trains were not taken care of very well. They were put on a shelf. I don't think they've been oiled very much. Okay, so now I put a MTH tri-diesel with smoke and all. The smoke's working. It's gonna wait till it gets here, but so yeah, that works. We'll leave that on there. And it sounds like we got some train tunes as well. It's funny because you can just listen to it. And not only are the fans blowing the smoke out the top, which is really cool, but you can actually hear when the track goes up and when the track goes down. Right now you have an up. Now it's fairly steady. And right over here, we start going down again. We're about to have a real train come by now too. It's a party! Sorry, you picked a bad place to be in. It's only temporary. Yes, I'm talking to the bees below ground, right where I'm digging. No bee has come out. Maybe I didn't bother them enough. That's good. I don't want to bother them. If you haven't noticed, the real train is now going behind us as well. A lot of sounds happening here. See, it just stopped right there, just like that. Last time I thought one wire right here is disconnected. Yep. So if one of the wires disconnect to the train, the whole thing stops. So I know I have to do something to keep that wire from disconnecting. See, it just stopped right there, just like that. Last time I thought one wire right here is disconnected. Yep. So if one of the wires disconnect to the train, the whole thing stops. So I know I have to do something to keep that wire from disconnecting. Now we're off and running again. I have to get a separation set right there. That's why I drilled 2 holes, one on each side, because right there at the second brick over, right where I'm pointing at, I got to put a separation for the track. Now, all I have is the ones that somebody 3D printed and put online. I bought them not knowing they were 3D printed. He was not clear, he did not tell me they was 3D printed. And they really suck. But when you don't have anything else, you got to use what you got. When I get my 3D system up and running, which is still boxed up, I will be printing my own. And probably will be replacing these, because I know they suck. So that's just the way it is. Now here's the good thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have all 7 cars for that train. All 7 cars in the kit still in a box. So if this train is working, this is the MTH one, I have the cars for the MTH full set. That will be very exciting to have all 7 cars running here. That would be the first time in my life I had a complete set running that's a matched set. So that is just an exciting thing for somebody that collects trains. And if you don't collect trains, you're probably not watching this. So everybody watching this would understand that. Okay, so now I have to disconnect this. I don't know if anybody noticed my trick with connectors or not, but I drill my hole through my track. I don't care if I have a bigger hole in the track. I don't plan on ever selling this. It took me too long to get here to this point. I'm not going to be taking it down. So what I do is for me. So I drill a bigger hole and I put a insert in it, and the insert goes on top of the track. That way when I put the screw in to hold the track, I'm not collapsing the crossbar on the track like you would do if you put something tight. You actually collapse that crossbar. You collapse the crossbar and it becomes all dull and it actually will crack. But doing an insert, it stops it from doing that. So now I got to do what I hate doing. Destroying train stuff. I'm not hurting you, bee. Go to your nest. My wire disconnected again. And I gotta take care of it because that means the first tar is spinning and not moving. It doesn't know it's been disconnected. Now when I cut off an end that I don't need the support for, I don't throw it away. I put it back on. Because in the old railroad days, you didn't know what you were going to get. So since this supposedly been done and redone and rebuilt from a mixture of old to new, I want to have my railroad tie show that. This track works all the way through. But the problem with this track is some time ago they decided to cut it because they wanted to put the improved track and do the improved corner that they put in. So they just cut that track. So now it's like a dead track at the end. So since it's a dead track at the end of the train, what I need to do is put a dead track ending. So now it's a dead track that they didn't worry about. They just dug it out because I had to put the new track in, and now it has a dead end on it. That's it for the track expansion. You can see I've come all the way down through, all the way in. Tomorrow we've tested with our little orange level. I used to use a long level that was about 1.5 feet long. Then I realized if I put a long level on a track and I have a dip in the track, the long level is going to skip it. I'm not going to see it. That's why I started using a small level that actually I can run right down the track. I'm sure you saw me do that once. And run right down the top of the track because it has a strip on the bottom. It's not plastic, it's like a magnetic strip, but it works great on the track. It doesn't hurt it. I can run that right down the track and look at the level and see what the train sees in the space from wheel A to wheel B on the smallest or the biggest train. So I want everything to stay level and be level. I don't want to dip anywhere that's really obvious, so I do it that way. So tomorrow I'm going to be coming out here. I'll be getting the excavator out. I'm going to set up the camera, so our next video is going to be me excavating so you can see how I dig the pond and get all the dirt that I use for the train. I don't use normal dirt, special dirt. And in just in case you didn't see it, there is the Christmas train that's been working. It's fairly brand new. World's most expensive Christmas train, and that's the only train that works out of my kit I bought. But it does work. The wheels look new. They don't look rusted. I'm going to take the other trains that don't seem to work. I'm going to set up the grinder or the wire brush. I'm going to wire brush the hell out of the wheels, get whatever's on them off, hit them with a grease remover, get whatever's on them off, and see what happens.